Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper. And guys, welcome to another edition of the Hard Truth Show. Now, tonight, we're not going to be covering a specific topic. What we're going to be doing tonight is going over in detail the TrutherCon Expo that is coming up in October on the 25th and 26th. And Brother Jeremiah and Brother Jake Grant is going to go over this in great detail with you guys tonight and share a ton of information. I'm honored to be invited to go speak at this. I'm very excited about it. I think there is, it is the absolute paramount that a lot of the things that's going to be discussed are discussed, because we are getting into a point where that truth is being saturated. I've noticed on social media platforms where anything that's related to truth is just being curtailed back. There is a lot of suppression, just in free speech alone these days, not even just when it comes to truth. Our whole geopolitical spectrum is changing. Laws are changing. Freedoms are changing. AI is coming on, and it is going to be a monster. I have preached against AI from the rip. It's getting worse every passing day. And so there's just a lot of, and the algorithm, not to mention combating the algorithm on YouTube nowadays. I cannot overly stress, guys, to like, share, subscribe, and make sure to bang the bell for all the notifications and everything that comes out, because if not, we'll just be lost out here a ship at sea. But with that said, real quick, guys, I'm going to bring the men on stage here. Good afternoon, men.
Hey.
Unmuted there. Hey, love you, brothers. It's good to see you in the house.
Good to be here, man. Always good to be here.
So I'm not going to talk a whole lot. I guess, the biggest thing that I want to hear on my end is who all's coming and what the topics are going to be, because I know a lot of people will want to hear about that. And I know a lot of people are excited about the content that's going to be covered. And I just definitely two things want to shout you guys out, because having organized an event in the past, I know how crazy, insane it is with all that goes into it, and getting people there safe and back home, and buying people's flights and getting them hotels and lining up speakers. And it's a lot. So, I really commend you guys on that. And secondly, YouTube play button. I love it on the wall there. It's looking sharp. I like to see my brothers winning. So, all right. So with that said, the floor is yours, man. I'm going to enjoy my new Viking mug I got at the Renaissance Fair, drink my water, and listen closely.
Nice. I'm going to have to give me one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, we chose Dallas, not only because I'm from Dallas, but that was the first time the word conspiracy theorist was used to demonize people like us. And, being JFK. And so I had to throw myself in there, because we were trying to get a JFK person to be able to speak, and everybody's just getting too old. So I just got my evidence that I've been, putting together for years. And so I'm going to present, and it's going to be interesting. It'll be my second time speaking publicly. My first time will be tomorrow. Nice. It's going to be awesome. We have such variety when it comes to truthers, and Dallas, I feel like, is a key location, which is interesting because the venue is called Social A, but the hotel has Love Field that's the airport where Southwest flies into. But that is the only tarmac that a president has ever been sworn into office. And that was on that tarmac that day. And it's right there, right by the venue. So I always found that interesting. I was looking the other day. So, yeah, man.
Well, so for people that's wanting to go, I know we, just like you guys, we travel all the time. So, I mean, it is what it is. I can look at a map like, okay, where we need to go. But I mean, like, as far as the venue going to be, it's in Dallas. So everybody's coming to Texas.
Yep. Yeah. Dallas, Texas.
Nice. I like that, because that's a good center point in the country. I think when I pick, so Akeen's flying in the night before, and I'm going to pick him up at McGee Tyson Airport. And I think me and Joel's got like a 14-hour or 13-hour drive ahead of us. with the King. So I mean, it's like halfway across the country for us. I love it that I feel like whether you're coming to that from like California, even if you're driving, because I got to be honest with you guys, I used to fly all the time, but Luke does everything on 4 wheels now. So I'll see you in the Jeep Gladiator because I'm not flying anymore. I just am very paranoid of it. So I mean, anybody that's wanting to drive, I mean, that's really a half day's drive. It's not bad. You can pretty much get there north, south, east, and west. I like that that's really centralized where you can put that together too.
Yeah, I totally feel you when it comes to flying, because me and my wife, we just went to DC, and like we flew into Reagan, right over where that plane and that helicopter collided, and it was lightning hit the plane. It was the craziest thing, but I'm not trying to scare anybody. Everybody just fly out there if you want, but
wait, lightning hit your all's plane?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Right as we were landing, we saw the every monument, the Nimrod monument, the Capitol, and everything. And I was like, is this it? Is it going to end here? But it was cool. We landed, so that's good.
If I hadn't quit flying and say I was on that flight, that would have been the end for me. Like, even if I had to rent a U-Haul to drive home, man, I would have just drove home after that.
Never flying Reagan again.
My great-grandfather used to say, Jake, I don't fly places. I was like, why? He's like, it says so in the Bible. And I'm like, where does it say in the Bible you don't fly? And it says, lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. So that was always a joke he would tell me about his hatred for flying. Is lo, get it, lo, I am with you always. So.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, ever since I guess that's one good thing that came out of COVID is that we were just flying all the time to a job site all over the country. And then after COVID hit, man, we had to drive all the time. And after that, I'm like, you know what? Then this is probably going to be okay. And then whenever all these flight issues started here in the past couple of years, I'm like, yeah, it's probably just best we just set this thing out for a while. So,
yeah.
Anywho's.
Sure.
So this is going to be
before we move on, I put a video down here because you brought up the whole conspiracy word that was first talked about there in Dallas regarding JFK, right? Well, back several years ago, I interviewed Mad Mike, and he is the flat earth rocket guy. All right. And I got some pretty exclusive footage of Mad Mike explaining and detailing this whole concept of JFK and the origination of the word conspiracy. So I wanted to show you guys that clip because not a lot of people have seen it, and he's dead now for trying to prove flat earth by shooting himself up in his own homemade rocket. So it was just an amazing opportunity to interview him while he was still around, because there's not a lot of people who do that kind of thing. And so check out this little clip. I think you guys will like it.
Until someone goes up 60-something miles up the edge of space and I can do it. $2 million. It's just the biggest conspiracy.
Monolithic and ruthless
conspiracy. We're taught first day of school. There's where you live. There's the globe. Okay.
What if?
All right then.
Is flat.
So yeah, man. Whenever you guys say that, it like brings to mind that conversation where I'm having him describe, hey, listen, the word conspiracy goes back to JFK. But yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the truth, man. It all started with JFK, and they called us crazy, and then all these documents have been released, and come to find out that we weren't crazy all along. And so that's why we're using the word truther. I remember the first time that we talked about this, we were in Panama City Beach for Jake's birthday, and I was just telling him like this idea, and it all started with an idea, and Jake was like, we got to do this, man. And so I was like, I don't think we could do this. And he was like, we're going to do this. And I was like, okay, we're going to do this. And then everything started falling in place, and it's just going to be so amazing. And I hope everybody in your audience is able to be there and to hang out with us. It's going to be epic.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great. The conspiracy, the one for me that has just been mind-boggling is I remember back when people used to argue about chemtrails.
Mhm.
And they were like, it's no such thing, blah, 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 blah. And then the state of Tennessee literally banned geoengineering. Like there was literally legislation to ban it. And I was like, let's just take a pause in life here for a second. That doesn't matter if you believe at this point or not. The people that told you that such thing existed just got validated that moment. So it's no longer a conspiracy anymore. And you wouldn't believe the silence that I have heard from all people. Like the people that I used to have this discussion with, there's no discussion anymore. Like they don't say, hey, you're a conspiracy nut or you're wrong or anything like that. They just don't speak. And it's very interesting and intriguing to me because it's not so much about I don't care right or wrong thing. What's interesting to me is that people will fight so hard against an ideal. And then whenever it does actually come to light, then the conspiracy is actually true, then you just always see this paramount silence. And I've seen that on so many different, things, but I just found that one interesting. And then of course I look up the other day and there was chemtrails being sprayed over the sky. And then it come like this massive washout over the farm in the days following. So it just, it's interesting to me that the things that we used to label conspiracy are just actually public knowledge now. But you don't hear the people that hated on you coming back over to apologize either.
Yeah.
The pride has gotten them. So, okay, well, let's see. So it's going to be 2 whole days from pretty much sunrise to sunset, right?
I think the times are on the website. It's 9 to or 10 to. I'll have to double check on the website, but it'll be pretty much all day. And if you want to, we have VIP tickets too, and those are going pretty quick. Early bird tickets are ending on Monday. So if you want to come to TrutherCon, get them now before they go up, because we just can't fit everybody in the building. And,
I got you. Now, what about the so on the speakers and stuff? Is that going to be like that both days? People's going to be speaking though, right?
Yep. And then Jake had a great idea about roundtables, so we're finding a good way to be able to do both of those probably at the end of the day, and then we're going to end the whole conference with Bryson Gray performing, and that's going to be pretty epic. But the way that right now I'm trying to structure the speakers, and Jake and my wife and everybody are helping me do this, but we're trying to make it to where it's not all one topic at one time. We want it to be as many things, kind of in between. Sure. So you're not just blasted with all this truth from, one specific topic. So it's going to be interesting, I think. I mean, I find it interesting. I find everything interesting, I guess.
Oh, I think it'll be exciting to hear, what a lot of people have to speak and say. Because, I spend all my time, looking at end-day prophecy and looking at, preparing for the trumpets. And like I've just been hyper-focused on the Ring of Fire lately and all the volcanoes going off and all the earthquakes and just all the birth pains that's going on around the world. I cannot get enough information. I actually did a video live stream recently about things that we should be prepared for in the last days. Like expect these things to happen. And it wasn't like 2 days later that they had mega tsunami warnings. And then they had volcanoes and earthquakes and all this stuff in the Pacific, like that whole region, like 3 or 4 of the different topics I just discussed about being prepared for, like go ahead and put it on your bingo card. Like it literally happened like 3 days later. And I'm not saying I'm prophet or anything like that. I'm just like, it is getting to the point where the things that years ago we were like, we probably need to be prepared for, are like, you need to be prepared for today because it's going to happen any given minute anymore, the way that things are going.
So one thing I'm really excited about for the conference is having such a diverse flavor of speakers, right? So it's not just a truther conference focused on aliens or flat earth or just the Bible or whatever. Of course, all of these things can be woven in together in the overarching conspiracy that just is our reality. But I think having people speak on so many different topics, on health, on society, on politics, on cosmology, on whatever, and having that good platter to go and see and hear truths as these experts bring the most important, most pressing information that they have to share with the truther community. So not only do people get that variety blend where they can listen to people they might not usually listen to, and get this well-rounded picture on the diverse view of truth as it is now, but also you're going to get the opportunity to listen to these speakers who are their experts in their respective field, listen to each other speak and give speeches on certain topics or presentations or cutting edge information, and then being able to watch their interactions, your favorite speakers and people being able to talk and go back and forth on these very pressing, current, cutting edge topics. And there's so much change happening. It's impossible for one person to catch it all. It's just like I love using the juggling analogy, and they add another, and eventually you're just like, Well,
Yep.
that's what we want to help alleviate, is when there's enough able-bodied people with the right head on their shoulders coming together, then we all have a set of eyes. And that's why, when we get there together as watchmen, watchwomen, everybody can share what's most important. And then we come away with it with something valuable.
Very nice. Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be very well rounded, just looking at the speakers, and I don't know if you just want to go through that list in a minute. That way everybody kind of gets a heads up, who's coming, what they're going to be talking about. But, Brother Josh, I remember back whenever I had invited your dad to come and speak at the conference, and I think that same week he was going to end up speaking somewhere else, and it just couldn't work out. And I was like, well, the only other person I know that has just such a good base of truth when it comes to flat earth is Josh. And man, that I'm so excited to see him come talk, because it's like one of those things where that there may be people come in and that they may not be like fully sold on the fact that we're being lied to on so many different levels, right? But it may be one topic of somebody speaking that the other person didn't talk about that will be like, you know what, that's a red flag. I really do need to look into that. And they go home and they do their own research, because I can't tell you how many people that have went from atheism to the scripture just off of the flat earth alone. I mean, like, that was the door, that was the entry drug, that once they opened up to that, they were like, I can't get away from this, because like everything that I'm seeing is in the book, and that verifies it, and my science book doesn't. And they just dropped atheism in the trash can right there. And I just think that's epic. And I've loved watching like Josh share some of the testimonies and people share it over time and stuff. And that's just exciting to me. But I think that having a well-rounded balance of all different, angles coming in on that is going to be very positive for a lot of people.
Yeah, we're going to have people like Flat Earth Dave Weiss there. Do you know Gary Wayne? He's a researcher and author.
I don't think I've seen his content. I was scrolling the list over here a second ago. I think I'm trying to remember if I've seen Brother Theo, any of his content, because I know everybody that I've seen on this list, pretty much almost everybody on this list, I've seen their content. Like I said, I love Brother Josh's content and Kay's content. It's completely out of the box. Some of the stuff she covers, it's just great. Most of these people on here, I've seen some of their content over time, or a lot of it.
Is there a way you could pull it up on the screen here? I don't know.
Let's see. Yeah, I think we can make that happen. Give me just a second. Also, that other link, you let me know when you want me to pull that up. I believe I can screen share that too.
Okay, yeah, that's just our promo, our most recent promo of what TrutherCon is and who's going to be there, and it just makes you hype.
Gotcha. Yeah, give me just a second, guys. I am about to screen share this. I love how I've got this fancy setup in the office now, but the tablet, the big tablet that I use for the video portion, doesn't have a keyboard. So like if I don't load everything else off the phone or the big computer, I'm just a ship lost at sea over here. That's why I always ask you guys and everybody else in advance. I'm like, is there anything I need to add in? Because I don't have no keyboard on this one. I'm at mercy of the keyboard clicky thing with the mouse. All right, here we go. Okay, can you see that? There we go. All right.
Yeah,
So
TrutherCon.com.
So
There it
do you
is.
want me to go to the speakers tab?
Yeah, let's go to the speakers first.
Okay. All right.
So we're gonna have a performance by Bryson Gray, who Jake is probably the best at explaining what Bryson actually does and like how he does it. Like, Jake, do you want to explain his music and like what he's all about?
Hey, Bryson Gray is awesome. Just a Bible toting, word smoking, lyrical artist. He's just amazing, man. He's he can put together such like hard-hitting biblical truths, and he calls a lot of hypocrisy out in the mainstream music game. He's headlined for Hebrew Fest 2 years. This is the second year he's played Hebrew Fest. And honestly, if you wanted to pull up a short video on YouTube, one of his music videos, and just play 15 seconds of it to give people a feel, that would be pretty cool. He's got some pretty popular music videos.
Yeah, Jake, can you send me one you'd prefer, and I'll definitely pop it up here in a second.
Okay.
And
one cool thing about Bryson is I have a cousin that is a recovering addict, and when I told him that Bryson might be coming, he was like, I love Bryson. Like he helps me stay clean, and so like when we were at Hebrew Fest, he had all his merch, and so I had him sign it for my cousin, and so there are a lot of people in my family that really love Bryson, and he's just a great dude.
Very nice. Actually, if you want, while you're pulling that up, Jake, do you guys want me to play that promo video real quick?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. That way I give you some time to get that one. Let me see here. Okay, guys, here's that video.
Largest truther convention. It's called TrutherCon.
This is the place where truthers unite to explore knowledge, ask tough questions, to challenge the mainstream narrative.
But it isn't just a convention. It's a movement for free thought, open discussion, and the right to question everything.
We are bringing in some of the biggest names of the truther community, so expect deep discussions, mind-blowing revelations, and connections with like-minded truth seekers.
If you feel like the truth is being hidden from you, this is where you need to be.
And the best part, it's 100% grassroots, built by truthers for truthers, straight from our Skiba News Nation family. TrutherCon will be a massive networking event. I believe this is going to be the most exciting truther event ever.
October 2025 in Dallas, Texas. We hope to see you there.
Now, I know my mom and dad, they really wanted to do something like this, and that's probably the most rewarding thing for me, is that I'll be able to fulfill that for them. And yeah, I love that they're in that promo. So
very nice. Let me sorry guys, I'm loading that up on the thing here for you. How much of that you want me to play, Jake?
Yeah, you can just play 15 30 seconds of it. So this is Bryson Gray, for those of you who are not familiar with him. He shares a lot of things in common with us, and just he's an awesome guy. So we're super stoked to have him out.
Let's see. All right, here we go, guys.
This is his musical partner.
Holy smoke. I got a question for these Christians. Will they answer? Well, let's see. You made 100 songs, but still ain't call out the LGBT. How you in Christ, but you Doja Cat and Cardi B, y'all getting interviews. Get an answer about your faith, you cop a plea. They say, Bryson, you should chill. Nah, it's holy smoke, let's get it started. If you got an OnlyFans, you're not a Christian. You a harlot, demon hunter. And you know that Bryson always hit his target. I know God is there, ain't gotta ask. Like it's me, Margaret. What the Bible say about every spirit? You should test them. Ask them boys about about abortion, I bet they avoid the question. They gon' play it safe. Why? To please the world. If you let them say I'm always trying to sow the vision. But who else go check them? Speaking of the vision. What about oneness? What about Trinity? That divides the body, but y'all don't keep that same energy. Y'all call out theology more than sin. That's your ministry than justify being friends with the world. You guys enemy. These Christians got my name and their mouth is getting old. How you got a spirit more than I do, but you not as bold. And you say I'm not praising Yeshua, never see me fold. In the Bible say just buy the fruit. Hold on in my mold. All these churches now they soft. If for Christ you know I tee up, you would think I'm playing golf. If I ever take a L, then it's a lesson, not a loss. In this Bible rap, if they ain't talking scripture, turn it off. Turn it off. Holy smoke.
All right, that's good. Oh
Gotcha.
man, so yeah,
That's good stuff.
he's gonna be there, rocking it up. It's gonna be great, man. We're super
Very
stoked to
nice.
have him out. So yeah, he'll be at the end of the conference, and we're gonna wrap the whole thing up with a great performance, and it'll be real fun.
I really want him to come to Dealey Plaza with me since we're so close to where it happened, because I think that'd be the perfect place for a music video, like where JFK was shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that definitely make for a definitely interesting scene in the back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. Let me add that other screen back. Let's see. Sorry, I that's what it is. You always got to X the one off before it asks you to start a screen share on a new one. I'm gonna get it together eventually, guys. Okay, so next up, there's this dude.
Hey, this dude.
Yeah, so I finally filled out that form. I apologize in advance that I lied to you the other day, Jeremiah. The work week turned into a complete dumpster fire, and I meant to fill that form out like 2 days ago. But just long and short of it, the context of what I plan to talk about, as long as that's good with you guys, is pretty much the days of Noah 2.0, a proof positive that we're in the last generation, because it will just be like a full plethora of everything that, Messiah warned you're going to see. Well, you can definitely take the checkbox and check every single one of those things now in comparison to Noah's day. So, at which we couldn't do until just at least about 2 to 3 years ago, like even down to, cloning, DNA editing, fallen angel technology, just the whole 9 yards. So that's kind of what I had on the menu. But if I need to swap that up to something else, I don't care one bit too.
I think that's great. I mean, I love the fact that you don't like AI as much as I don't like AI, but it's like you can't avoid it now. So it's like I did a History's Mysteries today on today's show about the Unabomber's manifesto, where he predicted all these things, kind of what you were describing, almost verbatim. I mean, he shouldn't have done what he did, but he was right on point with a lot of stuff and talking about AI. And I remember the first time Jake brought up AI, I said they're going to start convicting people for crimes, and AI is going to be way more convincing than DNA evidence. And we'll see.
Well, interesting you mentioned that, is that apparently I was listening to a thing the other day about how many jobs AI has already been replacing. And, of course, Amazon and lots of different things like that, is obvious. It's been out forefront. But one of the things is that paralegals and stuff like that, there was this one legal firm in particular that hires multiple attorneys. I guess they represent like tons of corporations, tons of different entities. And so they've removed their legal aids and stuff like that. They're replacing them with an AI platform, and they're just offering that direct to the lawyers. And the lawyers are taking that to take care of a lot of their legal litigation and stuff nowadays. Like, people are literally being replaced, even in the law field, by AI. It is terrifying. I'm telling you, I stand behind it. Right now, if I could remove anything off the face of the earth, it would be AI. I wouldn't even hesitate. Like, that's instantaneous. But yeah, it's and the thing that bothers me the worst about that is, and I don't want to get too much into the presentation that I'm going to do that at the event, but like, long and short of it is, if you look at every single checkbox that is required to really meet the days of Noah to now, including, there was people that their DNA was corrupted, obviously. animals were corrupted. I mean, like the whole creation was corrupted, and we're fast approaching that at light speed now since 2019. And if you look back in 2015, we were being warned that in 10 years we would have AI, and 10 years later now we have AI. And so like it's just it's like we're marching as fast as we can to copying exactly the conditions of the earth before the flood. And what is interesting to me is if that is correct, then everything that I've warned people since 2012 about the coming 7 trumpets of Revelation is at play. And anybody that thinks about, like pre-tribulation rapture, then very soon you're going to see that that's an error. So the other thing is that people think about preterism and say that we're, in Satan's little season. Then if all these events come to pass in the very near future, then that doctrinal issue is wiped off the table too. So it just, if people take the information that's shared and apply it to today, it's going to make for a very interesting few years, especially the next decade ahead. Because last thing I'd say to that is, did you guys see where there's been a lot of interviews done with AI on ChatGPT and inquired as to what the agenda is, and it says that by 2032, full compliance to AI and AI being used pretty much for the operation of the beast system is the ultimate goal. And that the guy, multiple people's asked it and said, listen, if you don't feel safe answering the question, you can just say Apple, or you can say something else. Just don't say I deny or won't answer. And it was a crazy interviews that they done with AI, and it pretty much, they all came down the same pipe. So very interesting days ahead, man. Very interesting.
Well, I'm looking forward to your presentation. That's for sure.
Well, all right, let's see. Now, Gary, this guy, I don't know if I've ever seen any of his content, so I'm intrigued to hear about this and what he's going to be presenting.
Like, he's really good at like bloodlines and like he can tell you, like, I even brought up Elvis. I was like, so can you tell me about Elvis's bloodline? Because I'm a big Elvis fan. If you can't hear, or if you can't see right off camera right here, I have an Elvis scarf. And he was like, there's nothing bad in Elvis's bloodline. And I was like, oh, thank God. But is that how you would describe him, Jake? He's just very knowledgeable.
Yeah, he wrote the book, The Genesis 6 Conspiracy, that ties into the bloodlines of most occult groups, Freemasons, Jesuits, the Knights of Malta, the Knights of Columbia, all the different groups and sects all the way back into ancient history. And he kind of traces those and weaves this tale of this royal kind of bloodline and society orchestration that goes on behind the scenes. So he's one of those really well-researched historian types, and he's got some really good information. So he also likes to talk about Nephilim and the wars of the giants, and gets into some really kind of cool, interesting biblical topics as well.
I remember he was the first person I asked when I went to DC. I was like, hey man, what should I film? And he told me everything that I should film, not knowing that we were staying right next to the Scottish Rite of 33rd degree Masons. And so me and my wife, we filmed it, and it was really creepy. But yeah, he was like, I wouldn't go back there. I was like, I don't plan to.
You know what I love about what you put together is I was thinking about, there's just wisdom and wise counsel, and a wise man will seek instruction. And there's just so, like in the last days, it just seems like truth. And I'm not just labeling that like a scripture, but I'm just like, truth in general is so muddied in the water. To find tangible, knowledgeable truth is so hard to find anymore. And, that's why I think that events like this put together are so important, because everything's under one roof. There's so many things under one roof where you can just get right there and get the answers. And people's devoted their lives to this. I mean, literally, I've devoted half my life almost at this point to the ministry that I've done. I mean, like, these people have poured their soul into this. I mean, they didn't go out to the lake every weekend, drink a beer and fish, or, go to the golf course. Like, they've literally spent their nights and days after their jobs and stuff doing these researches and presenting and producing social media and editing videos. And I mean, people need to understand there's a lot goes into this,
Yep.
All
our
right.
next guy, Flat Earth Dave, he said he's going to have an epic presentation, so I don't doubt that at all.
Dave Weiss. Yep. Yeah, I remember meeting him first at the FEIC 2017 in Raleigh. That was pretty cool. Yeah, man, over the years, just seeing him be one of the most prolific presenters of biblical cosmology, or at least debunking some of the mainstream thought processes that we've had ingrained in us since childhood. So he has really good graphics and memes, and we love people that are visual with their presentation. So he's going to bring a lot to the table.
Yep.
Nice. All
And
right.
Brother Theo, the next guy, he's really into the music industry. He exposes a lot of what happens, like, deep into it. And so I was thinking maybe like we put him right before Bryson Gray performs, because Bryson's like anti-music industry and he'll kind of expose the music industry. And that's kind of what I was thinking, but we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Brother Theo is real cool. We had an interview with him almost 2 years ago now, maybe. Yeah. And he was really tied in with the whole music scene, Eminem, and, all the different guys that kind of were in the upstart of Eminem's whole career. He was connected to. He went to high school with one of his buddies, I think Proof. But anyways, yeah, very interesting. All these speakers. We also have the next speaker here is Kay Pudgy. And she's just an up and comer, likes to talk about a lot of stuff. She got really popular on TikTok and talks about a lot of the topics that are right up all the same kind of biblical conspiratorial realms of thought. So
yeah, I was telling Jeremiah before you'd got in the studio earlier for us to get started, Jake, is that one of my favorite things that she's done some expose stuff on is Polaris, and how that, it's like literally at the throne room of the Most High. She's made some points about that, how that a lot of things line up with scripture on that, and very interesting points that she's put out there. I enjoy watching her content. It's definitely, it hits a lot of truths from a different angle. She just has a way of approaching things that's very enjoyable to watch.
That's for sure.
All right. And next up, there's this guy.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking about JFK and where I think the fatal shot came from, based on a whole bunch of research that I've done on me being autistic. Once I get on something, I won't let up for whatever reason, and I guess it's a part of the being twice when I was a kid. So JFK and the fatal shot. I have a whole I'm gonna present it as if I'm like an attorney, like a prosecutor, and so I have some like models and stuff, and I think it'll be interesting.
There's this picture when anybody says JFK, there's this picture I think of, and he's standing in front of this large government building, and there's this shadow. Have you seen that picture I'm talking about?
I think so.
Where he was wanting to take out like the IRS,
Mm-hmm.
and there's this, it's like megalithic though. Like it's like the IRS building and everything is like megalithic. It's like supersized. And there's just him standing there, this small man, and there's this huge shadow cast over. I don't know if it's a painting that somebody done or it's a digital portrait, but when I think of JFK, I think about that he tried to dismantle the system. And, I think he understood and seen a lot of the deep state, how bad, and just think about in his day, the fact that he probably seen how bad it was then. Imagine if he'd seen it now. I mean, like my mind just goes, so that'll be interesting.
I think that's why they shot at Trump, because he's trying to dismantle kind of the same things, but
yeah, it'll be intriguing to watch the years ahead. Definitely interesting to watch the years ahead. All right, and then we got this guy, Brother Josh. I love to hear that brother speak. What's Josh got on the menu? I mean, he's talking flat Earth.
Yeah, and I like the way that he talks because he's like my dad in the way that he talks, to where somebody like me, that, you know, the dumb guy like me, I can understand what he's saying, you know. So it makes it enjoyable for me to like learn and stuff, because he was a teacher. And
yeah,
isn't that right?
Yeah, he's an educator. Yeah, you know, outside of your dad, Josh is the only other person that like delivering that type of knowledge base. He just has that spirit, that mantle about him. I mean, even my wife, like, she will listen to the truth. She'll, you know, deep dive at times, but like to stay like deeply engaged, like Josh's content, she'll stay engaged in that when he's talking. But like a lot of people, you know, like she just can't hang with, and she'll just hang right in there with it. So that speaks volumes to me, because like there's just a way that he presents things that is very, it sucks you in, man. You feel like you're watching like something on like the History Channel or National Geographic. And you're like, I wish that commercial would pass so I can get back to what the dude was saying. It's like got that kind of vibe, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to be great.
All right. And now this gentleman, I don't know if I've ever heard him talk before. Yeah, he's
now,
new.
Jake would be good at that.
He was instrumental in Little Light Studios, which is very popular for doing breakdowns of Hollywood movies and content reviews, showing the agendas woven into different stuff that our children consume, and just the agendas behind kind of media in general. But I think he's got his own thing here, which is Candid Truth. And I remember he had a booth set up in 2019 at FEIC. I got to at least passing faces in the hall, but it'll be great to have him out for the conference.
Nice. Very nice. All right. Now, is that everybody currently that's going to be, or is there going to be more people added to the list on that?
I know one is Alex Zek, who talks about like health and that kind of thing. And then we're in talks right now with who was it? Jake?
Ali?
Yeah. And
yes, Ali Saidatin. Yeah, I've interviewed him multiple times on Now You See TV years ago, and a lot of our shows got hundreds of thousands of views. Really, really fantastic researcher.
Very nice. So, and Yins don't have like a schedule yet on the days of who's speaking and what and all that stuff, right?
Not yet. We're trying to pinpoint the best. I'm going to need Jake's help with that, and my wife, obviously, I'm more of a dreamer, and she can put it down on paper. And same with Jake. I feel like his mind works both dreamer and he knows how to like structure things.
Yeah.
I'm very
schedule will be coming very soon. We wanted to have the best of the best speakers here, so we've been holding off so we can stack the deck, and then we can order it and let everybody know like when everything is. But just don't miss it. It's only those 2 days, the 25th and 26th. So it'll be jam packed.
Guys, I'll tell you what, it's good to have a good helpmate and wife. My wife just snuck me a hot fudge sundae in, and it is 8:00 at night. I'm telling you what, man, it's good to get them calories in on the sneak. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Well, the now the hotels, that was something I was talking with Jeremiah about a minute ago. Now I've got to make an adjustment on that. You sent me the link to the one that you suggest, right? Okay.
Yeah, I texted it to you. But the venue's called Social A, and it's a really, really cool venue. I think everybody will very much enjoy it. But like not even 20 feet away from where it is, like walking distance, you go right into this I think it's a Holiday Inn. But it's super nice, and yeah, that's the place that you should stay if they still have rooms. So I would definitely call, make sure they still have rooms and all that.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that. Yeah, because like I said, the one I'd originally booked was down there at the embassy, but I know the venue got moved up. But yeah, we'll definitely, I'll get that fixed this week and adjust that out myself.
The
I
embassy in
even if
Frisco?
I can't do what now?
The embassy in Frisco? The one with the flat earth?
It was like 10 or 15 minutes down the road from the venue you had original.
Okay. Because I was going to say that's like right on my way. So if you can't get her in there, then I could totally pick you up.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, we're going to drive it in. Yeah, I'm gonna load the guys up in the Jeep and drive down. But cool. Well, is there anything else that you just want to share with everybody before we wrap up?
Man, I'm just looking forward to meeting everybody. And, I feel like I know everybody that's going to be there, even though we've never met in person. And I feel like that's going to be epic. I feel like this whole thing is just turning into something that's very, I don't know the best word to explain it. It's like, it was meant to happen right now, I think. And it's just amazing to be able to have so many great people involved in it. And I think you guys will definitely like it. So get your tickets and get them before they go up on Monday. So,
yeah, please, guys, we want you guys to save money because we want as many people there as possible. So make sure to pick up the discounted price. I wanted to let you know, Lucas, that I put out a Book of Revelation audio drama last week. I've had it laying around for like over a year. And I produced this audio dramatization here. And I wanted to share it with you since you're a Bible lover and your audience are, all Bible loving individuals. I figured you guys would get a kick out of it. You can find this over on the Parable of the Vineyard YouTube channel. And I'm going to upload it to my YouTube channel here in a little while as well. But I wanted to see what your favorite chapter of the Book of Revelation is. I wanted you to hear a little snippet of it, and then maybe we can finish off with a TrutherCon promo video and wrap up.
Gosh, that's a hard one because, obviously the latter chapters, when you get to the end, obviously the new kingdom is described in full detail. I believe it's chapters 8 and 9. Obviously encompass, the trumpets. Revelation 13 breaking down so many different things. It's hard to piecemeal that out because there's amazing content all throughout that letter.
How about I play for you Revelation 14 because that's a kind of a good one. It talks about the mark of the beast and such.
Okay.
So I want to play that for your audience, and hopefully you guys will check it out.
Okay, very good.
Jake, you should put it on Skiba News Nation.
Oh yeah, we can. Yeah, I'm totally down. All right, you guys ready? Here's Revelation 14.
Lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of guitarists playing with their guitarra. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne, and before the 4 living creatures and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000, which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goes. These were redeemed from among men, being the firstfruits unto Yahweh and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile. For they are without fault before the throne of Yahweh. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and unto every nation and kindred and tongue and people, saying with a loud voice,
Fear Yahweh and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come. And worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of waters.
And there followed another angel saying,
Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice,
If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascends up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receives the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the Kodeshim. Here are they that guard the commandments of Yahuwah and the belief of Yahusha.
And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me,
Blessed are the dead which die in Yahuwah from henceforth. Yea, says the Ruach, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them.
And I looked, and behold, a white cloud. And upon the cloud one sat like unto the son of Adam, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud,
Thrust in your sickle, and reap, for the time is come for you to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe.
And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying,
Thrust in your sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe.
And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of Yahuwah. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horse bridles, by the space of 1,600 stadium. Chizayon, Revelation chapter 15. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of Yahuwah. And I saw...
Sorry, Jake, were you wanting me to play that on through?
Yeah, I thought the chapter I wanted to play for you was 14, but it was actually 15. But anyways, you guys can go ahead and check out the rest of that over on the Parable of the Vineyard YouTube channel, and we're gonna have that, I guess, on Skiba News Nation, and I'll have it on my channel as well here in a couple days. So hope you guys, I like to bring it to life, so we kind of did a cool production with a lot of different voices, and I've had that literally just on a file for over a year, just waiting to be posted. I'm so excited that we can share it with everybody now.
Well,
I think
will
it's
say,
great, bro.
Being a dyslexic person, it's so much easier just to listen to it than to actually read it, and it makes it really cool. It's like a movie in your mind,
Well, the great thing about that is there's so many of us that we work like 14, 16 hours a day. And when you come home, I don't care if it's a manual, a magazine, whatever it is, the last thing you want to do at the end of the day is read. And Father, please forgive me. I try my best. I read today. But it's so nice to be able to listen to the word. And you put an earbud in, and I can work on HVAC equipment, wire electrical boxes, and you can listen to a whole book of the Bible or 2 in a matter of a work shift. I mean, like, it only takes X amount of hours, going at that rate to absorb the 66 books in a minute. What I love about that too is that feels like I'm being read the Et Sefer, because the Et Sefer is very respectful to the Torah, and it's not like paganized, or like a lot of the words. That's a terrible way to say it, paganized. A lot of the words that we use don't pay respect to the actual Hebrew word. Like spirit and ruach are 2 different. Like I just like how that was done respectfully too.
Yeah, we got permission. We got permission from Dr. Pigeon to use the Et Sefer as a base text, so it is derived from it. So.
Oh, very good. Well, I was sitting there listening, so I'm like, man, this sounds exactly like when I'm reading the Et Sefer. There you go. Oh, and Jeremiah, I'll cash app you this, because blessings to whoever donated that. I can't exactly pronunciate that, but they donated that in honor of your parents, so that was very kind. Just shoot me your cash app, bro. I'll square you up with that in a bit, because that they meant for that to go to you, but that'll end up going to my YouTube thing. Well, guys, if there's anything I can do to help you in the meantime, just let me know. Anything I can do to help promote or whatever, man, I'll gladly do it. I'm excited to see you guys.
We're just glad you're going to be there, man. It's going to be really cool. And yeah, we're so excited that you're going to be there, and so many other speakers, and we get to meet so many people that are in the chats all the time, and I think that's going to be the coolest part.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's some people coming I definitely want to collab with in the future. And there's some people that's coming that we've definitely collabed multiple times in the past. Actually, I got to get back with Josh. We got to do a second part on preterism. That we're not living in Satan's little season yet. The bullet points. I seen this one the other day that was so good. Somebody's like, so the heavens receded like a scroll, and then it all got put back together again. And then a third of the stars got put back in the heavens. They were making like this very not disrespectful, but very like chidey, expose. And I was like, this is a well-pointed argument. Like, this is an excellent argument in such a nice manner. Blessings, these people are nice. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, is there anything else you guys want to share though before we wrap up?
No, that just make sure you guys get your tickets. Early birds ending Monday, so this is our warning call. But yeah, thanks for having us on.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's TrutherCon.com, guys. So just make sure links and all that stuff's in the video description. But just make sure to check it out. Well, brothers, I love y'all as always. It's always an honor to fellowship with you, and can't wait to fellowship with you in person. And everybody that's watching, as always, until we see you again here at Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel, hope the Most High Yah Baruch you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends, in Yahushua and I. We'll see y'all on the next round. Guys, just hang out a second. I'll catch up with you afterwards.
Right.